I'm Kathy Thompson. I'm the Preservation and Long Range Planning Supervisor for Charles County Government. And I am pleased to announce that there is a new publication available on Charles County history and architecture. The title of the book is In the Midst of These Plains, Charles County Buildings and Landscapes. And the project began really over 20 years ago when Charles County worked with the Maryland Historical Trust on a grant-funded project to update the Maryland inventory of historic properties. So over the course of 5 years, we documented 80 sites a year, and that culminated in adding over 300 new properties to the Maryland inventory. And one of the things that I'm most proud of about this book is it really includes a lot of new types of resources. So when the survey update began, most of the historic sites in Charles County that had been documented and that were recognized as historic were pre-Civil War dwellings that were very high style. So our Rose Hill and our Smallwoods Retreat and other very important landmarks. And what this survey, one of the main goals of this survey was to broaden the record of other types of resources. So we spent a lot of time documenting agricultural buildings, especially tobacco barns, homes that were built after the Civil War, homes that were built and occupied by the majority of Charles County citizens, whether they were tenant farmers or small landowners. The survey looked at churches, including African American churches that hadn't been included in the inventory. It looked at schools and a whole range of buildings that previously we really didn't think of as our inventory of historic landmarks. So I'm glad to share this new information in this book, and hopefully the goal of the project is ultimately to preserve more buildings. So I hope it inspires property owners to care for their homes, preserve them, and to continue to share their stories. So the title of the book is In the Midst of These Plains, Charles County Buildings and Landscapes. And the title is taken from a quote from Isaac Weld, who was an Irishman who traveled to Charles County and throughout North America in the 1790s. And while he was passing from the ferry on the Potomac River to Port Tobacco, he noted the landscape, and he described it this way: in the midst of these plains are the remains of several good houses, which show that the county was once very different to what it is now. And I felt that that was a great title for the book because it really sort of captured the changes in the landscape over time. But this survey was really documenting a change in the landscape in Charles County that started in the middle of the 20th century and has, especially with the growth in the development district and in the Waldorf area. So there were similarities between that quote taken during the American Revolution and where we are today. So the book was co-authored by Nicole Dielman, who is an architectural historian with extensive experience in Charles County and throughout Maryland. And Nicole really took that draft manuscript, added areas where we still had limited information, and really brought the project to fruition. The project was sponsored by the Maryland Historical Trust, who provided the initial grant funding for the project and worked with us over the many years.
Hi, I'm Mike Maggio. I'm the Vice President of the Historical Society of Charles County, and I'm also the Chair of the Friends of Rich Hill. We are honored to be able to present this new book, In the Midst of These Plains, about Charles County's architecture, and we are honored to sell this book because 100% of the proceeds are going to historic Rich Hill. Now, Rich Hill was built in 1729 by Dr. Gustavus Brown, a prominent physician who came from Scotland. When he died in 1762, he was one of the wealthiest men in all of Maryland. So the county, while the county is rehabilitating the structure, our committee is getting the house ready for its interpretation. Our committee has an interpretive plan for Rich Hill. There's 5 components. The first is to tell the story of Dr. Brown and his family and the history. And we going to have a gallery upstairs in Rich Hill that features Dr. Brown and his family and his children and everything about them. What's very significant about Rich Hill, another part of the interpretive plan, this is where John Wilkes Booth and David Harold came after assassinating President Abraham Lincoln, and they stayed on the property, not in the house, for 4 days. So another part of the interpretive plan is to tell the story of John Wilkes Booth and the role of the owner at the time, Samuel Cox, and his role in helping John Wilkes Booth. And of course, what went on with Samuel Cox in his life. Now, because there are stories that John Wilkes Booth came into the parlor of the house, we are furnishing the parlor back to 1865. And because we know for a fact Samuel Cox's son, Samuel Cox Jr., looked out his window upstairs and saw Booth, we are furnishing the Samuel Cox Jr. bedroom upstairs. So those are the 2 rooms that we are going to furnish. The other rooms of the house is part of our interpretive plan. We are having an exhibit in a room on the enslaved African Americans who toiled at Rich Hill. We have information about the names of the slaves through the history of Rich Hill, and we have information about some of the things that they did on the farm. So that is the 3rd part of our interpretive plan. Another part of our interpretive plan is the architecture. When the county acquired Rich Hill, one of the first things the county did was to remove the plaster walls in Rich Hill. And behind those walls were the original walls and studs, beams, bricks built in 1729. So people have been fascinated with the architecture of Rich Hill. So we're going to leave one of the rooms upstairs open to exactly for you to see the bare bones of that room and tell an architectural story. And the 5th part of our interpretive plan is about the archaeology of Rich Hill. And the Charles County Archaeology Society, along with our head archaeologist, Esther Reed, they have done extensive work already to find absolute phenomenal information about Rich Hill so far. So that's the 5th part of our interpretive plan. So the proceeds from this book, in the midst of these plans, are going to fund our different interpretive plans. And that includes exhibits, that includes furnishings, and that includes telling the story of historic Rich Hill.
So the book is available locally at Martin's in La Plata, and it's also available at Stagg Hall in the Port Tobacco Historic District, or you can contact the Charles County Historical Society.
COVID has been tough, and our local economy is still recovering. This holiday, keep the cheer here and shop local in Charles County. You'll find great ideas at local shops, restaurants, and attractions. Local gifts bring cheer to more than just the recipient. They help business owners keep their doors open. They help neighbors keep their jobs, and your money stays in Charles County, keeping our economy strong. So keep the holiday cheer here and help our businesses recover. 'Tis the season. Shop local in Charles County.
Applying for jobs with Charles County government is now easier and more efficient. Visit www.charlescountymd.gov for more information.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Toys for Tots Drive here in Charles County. This year, all fire and EMS departments, along with agencies throughout county government, are participating in this toy drive to make sure that all of our youngsters in Charles County have a joyous holiday season. As you see here, this box is full of toys. We're hoping that all citizens donate to each and every fire department located within your community. Our goal this year is to make sure that all our boxes are full, to make sure that every child has a smile on their face this season. This year we'll be remiss if we didn't talk about our partners. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, located at Regency Stadium, and also the Marine Corps Reserves. We certainly appreciate all their efforts and their hard work throughout the years. The distribution this year will occur on the 15th and 16th of December. You simply drive your car through the drive-in located at the parking lot of Regency Stadium. You'll be directed where to go from there. You no need to get out of your car. You simply drive through the line and we will take care of the rest.
Happy holidays from Fire and Rescue Cadet